Hello, everybody. Is I Anchorman, and today I've brought on a special guest, Bob, Organized Chaos. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm a big fan of the fandom initiative, Turf Nation, who has retired from the YouTube lifestyle, but I occasionally watch your channel, Bob.
All right, thank you. Yeah, it's sad that YouTube or Turf Nation had to do live IRL stuff, but I wish him well, and I hope he
Yeah,
comes back to YouTube. Honestly, I miss him.
same. Yeah, me too. Are you ready for the questions? Because I've asked you 10 questions. Do you just want to do five, or you down to do all 10?
We'll see what time allows, but I'm down for 10. Well, 10.
Okay, we'll just answer them quickly. Okay, number question one: what led you on your YouTube journey? Like, what got you into YouTube?
Oh, just want to talk about movies. I love movies. I studied movies in college, and I've just always loved the art form. I think it's a fantastic art form. The emotions it can evoke, how they can evoke emotions, and the rules to making movies, and how sometimes you can break those rules. I don't know. It's probably my favorite form of art. I love movies. I
Yeah,
love other forms of art
same.
too, but movies are just top tier for me.
Mm. Did you just do YouTube because you just like the craft of talking about movies? That's the main
Absolutely.
reason?
Yeah. Well, I've always wanted to make a movie, and I don't know, maybe I would do a short film or something like that at some point. I probably should. But yeah, YouTube kind of filled the itch of just like video editing and writing and stuff like that. So kind of get a little bit of the filmmaker of me out there.
Didn't you said you in your videos you went to film school, but you dropped out or something?
Oh well, I mean, it was when I went to well, not first. I guess it was the second time I went to college. I went to college 3 times. But yeah, I ran out of money, so I was only able to complete a year, and then when I went back to college, I just got an engineering degree for practical purposes.
Oh, nice. Congrats on that.
Yeah.
Second question: what made you want to cover all the chuds and grifters online?
Um, there's actually kind of an in-depth story about how I kind of got into that because they were always around even when I first, maybe not quite so much when I first started, but to a degree they've always been around. They've been
Hmm.
mostly ignorable, which is mostly what I was doing because it was just the worst opinions ever, just worthless garbage in my opinion. But
Yeah.
over time they just got louder and louder, and then eventually I covered a Jim Shooter panel at Cincinnati Comic Expo. I want to say 2021, and somebody who is Comicsgate took that panel and kind of misrepresented it as like essentially saying Jim Shooter is Comicsgate, and Jim Shooter has some opinions that I definitely disagree with. I would not call him Comicsgate. He never said anything about being Comicsgate. And I looked over their coverage and I found it very dishonest, but also it made me wonder, like I'd never even heard of Comicsgate at that point. So I did this deep dive into Comicsgate, found out about Ethan Van Sciver and all that stuff, and that was my first step into kind of the conversation about the anti woke chud stuff. Because
Hmm.
since I was being identified as possibly being part of Comicsgate in a lot of my comments, I felt the need to, once I learned about, speak out against it and say, no, this is not what this channel is about. I find this reprehensible. And
So you weren't part of it.
just
You just called it out.
well, I mean, at first I was associated with it briefly, and then that's why I felt the need to make videos say I am absolutely not a part of this. But then
Hmm.
that kind of led me down the path of fandom menace, a bit much bigger YouTubers like Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker, people who I honestly hadn't given much thought to. But then looking over
Hmm.
their stuff and realizing it's all the same rhetoric, it's all the same garbage, and those guys have just gone so massive at this point. It's insane. I think
Yeah.
probably the only like the only movie channel on YouTube I can think of as decisively bigger than Critical Drinker would be Cinema Sins, which is a whole different. I have a whole different set of issues with Cinema Sins, but
Oh, is
I
he a
don't think they're
chud? Because
nearly as
I watched
harmful
him.
as Critical Drinker and the elk like that.
I never thought of Simmonsons as a chud. I just
No,
know
no,
he
I'm not.
thinks.
I'm not saying they're chud. I'm just saying, as far as the YouTube movie landscape, they're the only ones I can think of that are definitively bigger than Critical Drinker.
Yeah. I mean, I discovered the chuds when Star Wars Explained called out Jeremy Griggs when he was spreading misinformation about the Solo trailer because they removed the guns or whatever, the blasters, and like Jeremy was like spreading misinformation about it in Star
And
Wars Fury
not
as well.
shocking. No.
Yeah, this is like before he became the big grifter that he is, Jeremy.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
yeah,
mean, back in the day when he liked The Last Jedi, so
yeah, yeah. Question three: would you ever cover big time chuds like Charlie Kirk, Brett Cooper, Tenet Media, or Benny Johnson, or like Ben Shapiro?
I've covered all of them.
Oh, you talked about like uh
I don't cover them as often because they're not in my space, but I mean, they definitely dip their toes in here in my space, and typically when that happens, I will cover them. Um, but yeah, I
yeah,
went over Ben Shapiro's old Barbie review on that garbage.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I've covered pretty much everything. I definitely covered the Tenet Media situation because that was wild. And Benny Johnson did talk to Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic, which is something I covered before even Tenet broke out. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very well aware of them, and I've definitely covered them.
Out of all those people, who do you think is like the most problematic? The ones I just named dropped.
I mean, they're all massive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll be honest. Of the people I mainly look at, I feel like Nerdrotic probably has the most influence over them.
Yeah,
Um, he's not the biggest one, although he's not small by any means. Um, but I definitely feel like, as far as like the overall tone and general rhetoric they do, he's probably the most influential. Um, but when you step out that and go into the more media sphere, the general politics sphere,
mm-hmm.
um, God, yeah, it's you start running into people like Steve Bannon and Glenn Beck and shit a lot.
Are those big time chuds like
Oh
Fox
God, yeah.
News executives? Yeah, I never heard of
Um,
him, but
to a degree, yes. I mean, Glenn Beck is the one that pays Eric July, and it's interesting how he once he got hired by Glenn Beck, all of a sudden his opinions were in lockstep of Glenn Beck. I thought that was very interesting.
I see. I guess we move on to the next question. Do
Sure.
you believe Jubilee debates and its People Day platform are problematic?
I mean, potentially. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with what they do, although it does get every time they do something, it becomes, one side will be like, oh, so and so owned this and so owned that. And the actual logic and facts will frequently get lost just depending on what side you're on, which is a really frustrating thing about internet, and the
Yeah.
whole algorithm and stuff like that. Um, God forbid facts actually matter. But
Hmm.
um, I don't know. I don't have a massive issue with it. Um, as long as as long as those opinions are being challenged properly, I'm kind of okay with it. Now, I do have an issue with Jubilee, like copying the shit out of anybody covering their stuff. Now, that is annoying as hell.
Yeah, didn't you get copyrighted for showing the Sam Cedar interview?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah,
Mm.
my stream was pretty much taken down when I went to cover it, which is like I thought Jubilee was cool with people covering their stuff on stream, but apparently not anymore.
Oh, I see. At least you got to talk about them. Mhm.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, at the end of
I
the day,
believe.
like I would say Jubilee is kind of a almost kind of a nebulous YouTube channel. Like, I don't have any strong opinions about them. And
Yeah,
yeah, they don't really say too much.
I believe it's problematic because they platform Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro and other conservatives, and it seems like they
Hmm.
want to promote them a lot more than the liberals. Like they'll
That can be an issue, yes.
like it feels like they're just trapping in the
Mhm,
liberals anyone like they're trying to. It's weird that they switch from calling them woke students to just liberal college students. It's like it's
mhm.
backpedaling. if you know what I mean.
I didn't notice that. I don't keep as
Right.
close an eye on them, but yeah,
Yeah, I did. I watched the video about
that's
the
not
problem with
great.
Jubilee, and they basically pointed that out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The next
That is
question:
interesting.
do you have to handle chuds in your real life? That's question 5.
I mean, occasionally it does pop up, but not as often. I mean, it's definitely more of an online thing. They definitely have
Mm-hmm.
their online groups. I mean, it pops up occasionally. And I have no problem directly addressing them when it does.
I just
They usually,
seen.
I mean, I'll be honest, they usually back down pretty quickly when I start just stating facts at them. So, but yeah,
Yeah,
it does pop up occasionally. Not that often. I'd
I
say
mean, I just
maybe
see MAGA
a couple
supporters
times
at
a year.
my store. That's about it. I don't really.
Yeah, I don't typically confront them. Like if I see somebody with a Trump shirt or something like that, it's like, yeah, that's probably a chud. I don't typically confront them because, especially in the workplace, it's not really the venue. But
Yeah,
if they happen to say something or it happens to come up, then I will, correct them as politely as possible.
I usually just ignore them. I just if they ask me for something at the grocery store, I'll just answer their question and move on.
Mhm.
That's usually what I do. But there's some
Yeah,
conservative coworkers I have, and usually I don't know. Usually the one of them try to get a rise out of me, but I usually just try to step away from that conversation.
I do feel like I'm kind of lucky. Like most of my coworkers, very much aren't that. So, and I actually have I know at least one of my coworkers is actually one of my mods. So,
Oh, I see. Nice. That's nice.
so. Mm.
Nice. Okay. This one's kind of a long question. I don't know. Sorry if this question's confusing, but why do the fans of the Chuds claim to be who claim people are Disney shills or trying to ruin their fun on hating current stuff coming out, but then they love ruining people's joy for stuff they see, like Marvel, Star Wars, anything?
I think I understood. I mean, my answer would be simply, it's kind of a cult mentality. They get in their little in groups or little algorithmic circles, and they're repeating the same things over and over again, and they just repeat that ad nauseum. And if you're not part of the group, then you're a target to be made fun of. You're a woke communist, Marxist, whatever terms that don't
Mm-hmm.
go together. They like to throw together.
It's just like
Did
one
that
time
answer your
I
question?
saw got sort of. It's just one time I got into an argument with someone on the comment section, but I deleted it because it wasn't going anywhere. The person was basically arguing that Disney shills are trying to ruin people's fun, trying to rip apart shows they don't like, and it just seems hypocritical because they'll
Oh yeah,
say if you like
massively.
something, if they'll say if you like something, they'll say that's bad faith, and
Hmm.
that's I just don't like that hypocrisy.
Oh yeah, it's like I mean I've encountered that a bit on online as well. Like a chud will say something in mainly in Facebook or something like that, and I will just like directly call it out, and they'll just be like, and I do think it's interesting. Like a more recent conversation with somebody making fun of Bella Ramsey, which gets fucking gross. I've seen a lot of those memes. Like, what the
Mhm.
fuck is going on? But anyways,
Who's Bella Ramsey?
she is the actress who plays Ellie on Last of Us.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I'm not too familiar
uh,
with it since I never played the game.
I have only seen the
Where
series,
is it?
but
Just
and I have my objections.
yeah.
I have my issues with the series, but I think overall she does a great job. It's a good performance. But most people just make fun of her looks and stuff like that, and I'm like,
Mhm.
and when I'll see a post like that, I'm like, okay, so you're just identifying yourself as an incel or something like that. And then like one of the responses was just, she's never gonna sleep with you. Like there's no problem with making fun of her and talking crap about her. And I was just like, wow,
Mhm.
that is so telling. So you only think it's worth it to talk favorably about somebody if they'll sleep with you? Like that's such a bizarre standard to have. But it
Yeah.
kind of reveals what their mindset is. And my point, and I think my response was essentially, okay, how do you feel if she was talking shit about you on her social media?
Hmm. It's just like this whole. argument that like I don't know if you're talking about the whole people are saying video game characters they're making them woke because they think they're ugly or something. Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about? I
No,
just
well,
don't
I mean,
understand.
that's kind of a different topic, but that one gets insane as well because it's lots of times for video games. Lots of times they'll just pick out a screenshot, and more or less what they're complaining about is that the characters in video games are more realistic looking.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still have the crap like Stellar Blade, where the woman's like got ridiculous dimensions, and just like you can put her in sexy outfits and whatever. But
Yeah.
like there are plenty of games where they're just going for more of a realistic setting, and
Mm-hmm.
they just freak out over that. And it's like not every woman needs to be a supermodel and everything.
Yeah, it's
Think
just
about
like
it.
when Spider-Man 2 came out, they said
Hmm.
MJ looked ugly, but they didn't come. It's like they said it's because of wokeness, but then like when they see Peter Parker, when they changed his design, they said they didn't
Yeah,
say it was wokeness. Like it's a weird double standard.
they didn't complain about that, and I'll be honest, I thought that kind of drove me nuts because I mean they picked out this screenshot of MJ, and it's like, okay, it's not a favorable screenshot, but I don't know, it's not particularly bad in my opinion. But if you actually look at the gameplay footage, she looks pretty much the same, just like higher res, and it's like
Yeah.
you're complaining about that. But then they drastically changed Peter between the first game and the Miles Morales sequel spinoff that they did.
Mm-hmm.
Made him look a lot more like Tom Holland, which honestly that annoyed me because while to my understanding it's still a good game. I haven't played it. My son's played it. He said it was awesome, but I like that the original Peter Parker they had a unique look, but still
Yeah.
identifiable as Peter Parker. And I was kind of disappointed they made him look a bit more like Tom Holland. I thought it was
Yeah.
unnecessary.
Yeah, I'm saying I thought it was like, why did they change that? I thought
Hmm.
MJ looked beautiful when I first saw her, and then and they saw. I was like, why are people complaining about this? Like, I don't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah,
And like they'll randomly screenshot Star Wars Outlaws, that game that came out, and
hmm
then they'll say, "Oh, this." They'll randomly shit on the actress who played. I don't know her name in the game since I haven't played it. They'll shit on
yeah.
the main character in the game. Like I just never
I mean,
understood
it
this
also.
weird
I
dilemma.
mean, to my understanding, I've heard lots of people complain about Star Wars Outlaw, and to my understanding, it's not a fantastic game. But still, complaining about the looks of the lead woman protagonist doesn't seem like a great critique, in my opinion. Like maybe
Yeah.
actually go after game mechanics or something or functionality, like not how effable is the lady in it.
Mm-hmm. I see what you're saying. Uh, okay, I think I went over question 6, but the question 7 is: do you believe that most debates of chuds are all a waste of time?
I think. I mean, obviously, I have. I'm pretty open to debates, so I usually and I will frequently enjoy debates. Sometimes they get. Sometimes they will be a waste of time. I'll be honest. It kind of
Yeah.
depends, but you don't know until you go in there. Lots of times it'll be an entertaining debate. You can get clippable moments, obviously, but um, and also how like I primarily will debate the fans of chuds because the chuds themselves rarely want to actually talk to me for obvious reasons, but
Mm-hmm.
um, the fans of chuds will frequently come in and debate, and kind of the way you handle them is kind of differently. Like I always try to go into all debates with an open mind and try to speak logically. But obviously, if it's someone like Eric July or even Ethan Van Sciver, you got to be a bit more aggressive because, um,
I
frankly, in
did
my
watch
opinion, they
your
know
Eric
they're full
July
of it.
debate.
Huh?
I did watch your Eric July debate. It was like wild. It was like a 3 hour debate, and it was just
Oh,
Eric.
yeah.
I felt like you guys were just repeating yourselves. Like I felt like Eric, not you specifically, but Eric just kept dodging questions,
Hmm.
and it was just a cycle. And then he went into that little rant after
Yeah,
you left.
the rant at the end is absolute gold. It's like, yeah, that's not how people behave typically when they win a debate. If they're confident in how they
Yeah,
did,
I mean, I did
that's
watch
not
your
typical
debate.
behavior.
Yeah, I did watch your Rags debate. I don't know if it was a Rags debate or
It
Mala
was probably
debate.
a Rags fan, and because Rags
And
never
like he was,
debated
you
me. Mm.
the guy was just saying you were a shill or he said
Oh yeah,
"f
that can be
you,"
fun. Yeah.
and that guy was saying Jeremy Griggs was a good guy, and I just laughed out loud when he said that. Not to make
Yeah,
fun of Mr. And I just
that
think
is
that's a little
hilarious.
weird. Yeah, it's just weird. I just don't understand the debates because one time I got into an argument with someone on a comment section about Charlie Kirk being a good debater, and then he was saying how I don't know if you're aware of Dean and Parker, those two guys.
I'm not. No, not
They were on
that I would
Jubilee,
know.
and now they have like their own podcast where they debate MAGA people.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
And then they
Jubilee
say it's
usually
just
takes their
weird.
pool from other influencers. So usually everybody on Jubilee is an influencer, whether they, usually there's a big influencer who's like the star attraction, but usually everybody else they gather is like a lower range influencer.
I see. It's just like they'll say Dean and Parker are the ones who insult people. It's a weirdly hypocritical because Charlie Kirk literally his job is to go to college campuses and just make fun of college kids for having
Yeah.
different views than him.
Well,
So like it's just weird in my opinion.
when you look at like the actual debating tactics of most the chuds, your Ben Shapiro's and Charlie Kirks and guys like that, your Steven Crowders, it's largely just complete bullshit, but say it like loudly and confidently. And like don't even care if you look like an idiot. Just go for it. And that the crazy thing is like their fan base will eat it up without even recognizing how stupid they look.
I did see like a parody of Charlie Kirk. I don't know if you've seen this, where a guy was basically just, I don't know, he was dressed like Charlie Kirk, and one was dressed like someone who was debating him, and it was just basically just like arguing, and then like say like if you said pineapple on pizza is bad, and then Charlie Kirk will say, "Oh, let's think about that. That pineapple is objectively good," or something, and then and then like but then doesn't say like the debate person says, "Oh well, those people who like pineapple, they're actually bad people." And he's like, "Oh, do you know how absurd that is? A lot of bad people wear shoes and drink water." That was in the parody, and it was basically Charlie Kirk. It's basically making fun of that Charlie Kirk is basically justifying his hateful beliefs.
Yeah, I mean that's
topic.
I mean that's a lot of their rhetoric. It's ways to essentially jump through all these loopholes and try to figure out some way to intellectually make it sound like their bigotry is something not bigotry when that's obviously what it is.
Usually conservatives will be like, "Oh, well, you're accusing us of being Nazis or fascists." I think that's just kind of silly argument. I don't believe. I don't know. It's just confusing. Like, if someone has, I feel like, is there like a difference between being a hateful conservative, or is someone who actually wants to have a conversation? Do you believe that there's a difference?
Between, I mean, everybody's different to a degree.
Yeah.
I don't think. I definitely think there's a very loud group of conservatives online that are very omnipresent, and that it is easy to lump them all together with all conservatives, although I don't think they're all that bad. But yeah, they get very loud online, and kind of who they choose to be their spokesman does say something about them.
So it's really just a pick and choose thing, really.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
I mean, I hate lumping people together, but definitely online they get lumped together quite easily.
Like it's just like I don't know how to counter if someone says, "Oh, you're gonna," like if someone says, if I say Star Wars is toxic, like the fandom's toxic, and then a person will say, "Oh, you're just accusing me of being racist," and then I'll be like, "I never said that," and then
they will jump to that so quickly, and I feel like a lot of them just have these preset talking points that they go into comments boards with, and I mean there's probably even a percentage of them that are just bots, are just like pick and choose response, and it's impossible to tell which ones are bots and which ones aren't.
You can kind of just tell. I mean, recently I did a Ghostbusters review, and then someone commented that movie was trash, and I said, "Why do you think that?" Like I was just honest, and then he was just saying, "Oh, it's trash," and then I just went, okay, cool, you can go think that, and I
Mm,
left it like that.
the, I mean, which Ghostbusters was it? Was it the new
The
one
Frozen
or?
Empire, the recent
Okay,
one that came on.
yeah. I don't know. I thought that was okay. I thought
It
the
was
third
fun.
act was
It wasn't my
lacking, but
favorite.
it built up nicely. Oh
Yeah,
God, no,
same.
I won't rank it as my favorite by a long shot. But I thought that was a little
It's
underrated,
really just
honestly.
the first one for me that I like. I did like
Oh
Afterlife,
God, yeah. Afterlife,
but I guess
yeah. For me, it'd be the first one, Afterlife, and then probably a step down. Then you get Frozen Empire, um, and then the rest.
I did enjoy the second one. Like it wasn't my favorite. It was a
I'm
little
not
weird,
thrilled with
but
the
like
second
it
one
was.
at all.
Yeah,
I
it's
have the
just
controversial opinion that I actually prefer Ghostbusters 2016 to the second one, which
I
is
I
more
kind of agree
noteworthy of
with
the
you.
low
What you're
bar.
saying.
Huh?
It's only 16 one was all right. I haven't watched it in years. I've only seen it once or twice.
It's very meh in my opinion. I don't think it's as
Yeah,
bad as people who bash it seem to think it is. It's not
yeah,
particularly good though. It's one of those things where it's like it's not that bad, but I'm not going to like make a bold stance about how great it is because it's not great. It's
yeah. I agree. I mean, I did like Chris Hemsworth in the movie, but
oh
when I
yeah,
see him
he
in the
was
movie,
actually pretty funny. He was yeah. I like
I
Kate
thought it was
McKinnon in
funny.
it as well.
I just prefer to him as Thor.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh
yeah,
yeah, oh yeah. I
yeah,
miss Harold Ramis. He's awesome.
yeah. He's a good. Yeah, rest in peace to him.
Hmm.
But anyway, question 7. Wait, no, question 8. What works or is not working for you about the current state of Star Wars?
I want more
It's
movies.
a toughie, I know.
I maybe want a bit like as much as like overall. I think the series range from meh to actually pretty good. I actually kind of want less Star Wars content. It's
Hmm.
weird. Like I feel like Star Trek belongs more on the small screen with like more TV shows. I don't object to an Star Trek movie though. But I feel like Star Trek should really focus on like TV shows, and Star Wars I feel should focus more on movies because I feel like Star Wars is more the event movie, and
Yeah, I
we haven't
agree.
had that for a while.
I think
As
they're
much as
just
I
taking a
love
break
Star
off the
Wars,
prequels.
yeah,
Yeah. You said you don't like the prequels. Why is that?
the prequels, I don't think they've aged particularly well. I think a lot of the acting's wooden.
Mhm.
With a couple of exceptions, obviously. And I do think the green screen, especially in Attack the Clones, looks quite bad. Um,
Yeah, I do notice a lot of green screen in the prequels when I was
mhm.
rewatching them for my
It's,
Star Wars marathon when I do every year.
I mean, even with how cutting edge it was at the time, early 2000s CGI, in my opinion, has not aged amazing.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't know.
it's just like I kind of
Hmm.
like all Star Wars movies, but I have issues with some. But like overall, I think I could never truly hate the franchise if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because for me, longest time growing up, I was Star Wars over Star Trek, and that's kind of changed partially
I've never
because
watched Star
I would have
Trek.
to say Star Trek. Yeah, I've always loved them both, but for most of my life, I'd probably say be a bit more in Star Wars camp than Star Trek camp. But then I got my daughter into Star Trek, and
Oh, nice.
Deep Space Nine is probably one of, if not my favorite all-time TV series. So getting her into that kind of really boosted Star Trek for me, and it's something we
Oh,
can
nice.
share, which I love.
It's just like I see so many videos of like the typical Star Wars angry videos, like Star Wars Fury. I know you and the initiative think Fury's not a full on chud, but I feel like he is. It's just I feel like he's more
I,
engaging.
I'm, I mean, I think he's pretty much a full-on chud. Well,
Oh, so you do think
I,
that? I see.
oh God, yeah. But I would say the difference between him and a lot of the bigger chuds, even though compared to like even Critical Drinker, I think Star Wars series has a bigger fan base. I
Yeah,
think the biggest difference is that a lot of his fan base is not all in on the chud train, um, and it means theory at the end of the day for the chud space. Even if he's one of the bigger names in there, he doesn't have quite as much influence.
the
Like
biggest
his
thing that
big
frustrates me. Oh, sorry.
oh, go ahead. Yeah.
it's just like my biggest thing that bothers me about Star Wars Fury. He keeps claiming he's not an alt right YouTuber, but yet he hangs out with them, and even they
Yeah.
claim they're not alt right, but yet they platform problematic figures like Alex Jones and Gavin McInnes.
Yes.
It's just, and so it's like it's weird. It's like he just wants to deny it because if he does admit it, he knows that's gonna make him look bad.
Well, I mean, back. I mean, he obviously, at least at one time, was a massive Star Wars fan, and
Yeah.
like his old videos where he just talked about like genuine like Star Wars theory or like expanded universe or diving in deep dives into the filmmaking and stuff like that.
Mhm.
That was cool stuff. Like that.
Yeah, it was.
That's the same type of stuff I got into YouTube for. Just talk about shit I love. Here's some cool stuff.
I mean, I
But
liked
yeah,
his
he's gone
series.
so
I
far
liked
away
his
from that.
comic. Yeah, I
Yeah.
liked his comic reviews. I liked his what ifs. I somewhat liked his fan film. I know it's hard to make a fan film. It's just I don't know what drove him out of it. It's like when he revealed his face and when he got that copyright thing for his fan film. It's like something in him changed.
Mm-hmm. Well,
It's just
it's
like
also one of those things. Like I remember hearing about him getting upset over the getting copyright for the fan film, and I hate to tell him this, but like in general, a fan film, like if they let you make it, that's cool. But in general, they do not let you monetize that. Like
yeah,
that is
exactly.
not something you own. Even if you made it, even if you put your own money into it, it's a fan film. It's owned by whatever franchise
Hmm.
owns that universe you're doing. That's the name of the
Very
game.
true.
Yes.
I mean,
So
I
him
do
getting upset over that,
Spider-Man
it's like,
comics.
do your research. Do
Yeah, I do Spider-Man comics, but I've not published them because they would probably, I'd have to get approval by Marvel or something.
yeah, yeah. They'd probably want to publish it under their banner at least. But yeah.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's just like I don't
Mhm,
know. I don't know why
mhm.
Star Wars YouTubers have gone. Not I don't. I think there are great Star Wars fans out there. It's just
Oh
like I
yeah,
don't know why there's so many angry ones online. I like Celebration
it's
because like
monetizable. That's why.
you are correct. It's
It's
just like I
it's
like Celebration because it brings people together. It shows that people do love
yeah.
Star Wars.
I've been hoping there'd be a more of a celebrations closer because I wouldn't mind doing one of those again. I haven't done one of those since Revenge of the Sith, but that was yeah, that was awesome. Met a whole bunch of people there.
Oh, you went to Celebration? Nice.
Yeah, it was
I would want
Celebration
to go there, but
3, so
like
it was a
it's
while
expensive.
ago.
I
I
mean,
don't
my
remember how
friend.
much it is, but like in general, I can get into most of that stuff. If I just
Yeah.
show 'em my YouTube channel, they'll give me a press pass as long as I talk about it somewhere. I'm cool.
Hmm. We're almost at 40 minutes. Should I answer the rest of the questions?
um, yeah. What you got? 2 left? Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah,
do
yeah.
this. We can finish this.
Uh, you kind of already answered this, but who do you think is like the worst Chud out of all of them, in your opinion? You have to like pick one. Not, I mean, the obvious answer is all of them, but who do you believe is the
I
worst?
mean, if we're talking about in the movie media space or the nerd space, it's probably Nerdrotic,
Yeah,
maybe
I
Critical
agree.
Drinker. But like if we're dealing more in broader space, if we're dealing more in the political space, I guess Donald Trump's the obvious choice or Elon Musk.
Mhm.
But in more of the space I work with, Nerdrotic and Critical Drinker.
It's like I don't know. I see people defending Donald Trump, saying like, "Oh, he's not homophobic, he's not transphobic," and I'm like, I'm a bit confused. Like, he's
Yeah.
basically taking
that
nerd.
was
And
that
I
was
saw a
his whole
video.
campaign this last time around.
I don't know. I saw the video where Trump was saying, "Oh, I'm concerned about the LGBTQ families." I believe it's a lie. He's lying.
Oh, he absolutely is. Yeah.
I mean, why else? I mean, he literally said, "I'm ending the wokeness." Blah blah blah.
hmm By the
It's
way,
just
what
like
is
I don't
wokeness?
understand.
Look over there.
It's like he flip flops. It's because he
hmm
knows it will
Oh
make him
God,
look bad.
yeah. Although I think, especially in last campaign, I think he kind of realized how far the fan base had gone, and like in 2016, you can definitely argue there was some nebulous stuff in his campaign. In 2024, his campaign was like pure bigotry. I swear, it was awful.
Yeah, it's just like most conservatives will like make fun of my views because I support the gays and the trans and
Mhm.
the
Oh, how
rights. I
dare you
just view
think
it as
people should
human.
have equal rights?
It's just like I just think people. I don't know. what's the right word? I believe it's just human decency. It's not. It
Oh
doesn't have
yeah,
to be political.
I know lots of people call me like the chuds go on my comments and call me was it a male feminist, and I'm like, well, I do believe women and men should have equal rights, and if that makes me a male feminist, so be it. But then I would have to ask, what is your issue with that?
Yeah, like why is that a bad thing?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Some coworkers will be like, "Oh, you're a liberal." I'm like saying how, and he says, "What do you think of trans people?" Like it's meant to rile me up, but like I just don't want to feed into that because I just know
hmm
it's just people trying to win, trying to get something out of me. I just don't like those kinds of people.
hmm
So
I mean,
yeah,
I'll be honest. Lots of times when stuff gets like that, I will, in general, invite them to my YouTube channel because if I'm going to um, um, debate someone like that, I kind of want to bring them on my channel. And
hmm
honestly, at the end of the day, like if I can convince them of something, that'd be great. But really, I just want to show off how terrible their views are. That's
yeah. I don't know. I don't know if you've heard of Kevin Sorbo. Have you heard of that man?
oh god.
I
I hate
met
to
him
admit
at
it.
Comic.
I was a fan of Hercules' Legendary Journeys back when it was on. I will admit
I
to that. But
Yeah,
yeah.
I met him at Comic
Hmm.
Con. I didn't ask him anything political, but like I asked him how I could become an actor because that is my goal in life to be in like
hmm
an animator or an actor since I do
No, that's
theater.
very cool.
Oh, thank you. It's just I don't know. He just told me that I don't need college or whatever. But like I started to learn more about his views because some of my online friends don't like him, and I was wondering why they don't like him. And then I started seeing some stuff he says, and he says, "Why can't we just shake hands, conservatives and liberals?" I'm like, "Do you actually believe that, Sorbo?
hmm
Like, or are you just
I mean, he
lying?"
was the one. He was one of the guys cheerleading January 6th until it got busted down. Then all of a sudden he went, "It's Antifa." It's like, right, right.
I don't believe he wants to shake hands with liberals.
No, I most of these guys they try to act like we're just looking for our middle ground, but um they
hmm
never are. They
I mean, I drew Batman punching Charlie Kirk. Is that good? Would you say that's okay?
I don't endorse violence, but drawing of violence, I'm not picky. Sounds fine to me.
Oh, I see what you mean. So yeah, I mean, how come you're not a fan of Sorbo? Is it just because he's a chud?
Primarily, I mean, I don't think he's an amazing actor. If we're talking about the raw acting, although that God's Not Dead movie was terrible, I will say he was probably one of the better actors in it, though.
I've never seen it.
But
I
yeah,
saw
no,
his
it's
Let There Be Light movie, and it was bad because
oof,
it's basically just self-inserting him and his family and saying we're
yeah.
just proud Christians, we're not bad
Mhm.
people. And then he
Well,
shows like random footage of 9/11. It's just like it's meant to be anti-Muslim or something.
oof.
I don't
Um,
know if you've seen that movie, but like I don't know.
no,
I
I
just got
haven't.
that. It's pretty bad.
No. Well, I mean, God in God's Not Dead, he plays the atheist. And of course, as they always portray atheists, there's some sort of like I want to say like in that movie, like his daughter died or something like that. And he gives a good performance for his daughter passing on. But at the same time, it's like, I consider myself an atheist, but that's simply because I would say I'm like atheist agnostic, where it's like I see no evidence of there being a higher being or anything like that. So I don't see a value in living my life as if there is one.
I don't
For
really
for
have a
me, it's
problem with religion. I mean, I think it's fine to go to church and believe in a God, but like I don't like when
yeah,
it's used to justify bigotry, and I don't like when
exactly.
I don't like when
And
people use
there's
it as anxieties, like saying, "Oh, God doesn't love me if I do this or do that." Like I have a problem with that. For,
I do want to shout out because I have seen, especially after this last election, a lot more Christians standing up and saying, "This guy does not represent what we believe. We believe equal rights," and it's good to have vocal Christians out there um,
I grew up in a Lutheran
counterbalancing
church.
the really loud ones. Counter-
I mean, I'm Lutheran, but like I believe there is something out there, but like I don't know what to believe honestly.
yeah, no, it's
I
one of
do
those things.
believe in God. It's just like I don't know. I'm very
I, I
confused
I'm
sometimes.
willing to admit there might be some sort of higher being or higher power. But from my perspective, I've just seen no evidence of it, and most likely, if there is one, there's no it's not something we've thought of yet.
It's just like most right wingers like reject science and they reject
Mm-hmm.
like actual evidence, and like they'll say, "Oh, we care about evidence." I'm like, "No, you don't. You contradicted that."
Then
You
how
know
come you ignore all the evidence I give you?
exactly. So yeah.
I think we
Are
got
you
one
ready?
more question. So
Yes,
if
I'll
you
do.
want to hit that one, then I'll have to duck out.
All right, all right. Sorry.
It's all good.
uh, what is your advice for any YouTuber who wants to call out chuds?
Be prepared. Be prepared. If your video starts getting any traction, you're going to get a backlash, and just as long as you're speaking from facts and knowledge, then you're on the right path. Don't listen to so many of the comments you're going to get. And if you
Yeah.
stay the path, eventually the comments will start bouncing out, as I've started seeing on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
The ratios get less and less. But if you start getting any traction, they will bombard you, and it is intense.
Yeah, it can be.
In fact, you know what? Number one advice I'd give: don't look at comments for a while.
Yeah, I don't get many comments. If I do, it's just some from random person, and I just heart it and
Mhm.
then move on.
Yeah.
But that's about it. So just
Okay.
be prepared. That's it. That's
Yeah.
what you're
Yeah.
saying.
Be prepared. There,
I see.
there is a backlash to it.
I see. Well, I think that's it.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me. Sorry for
Thank you so
postponing
much.
this a couple weeks, but
You're good.
yeah.
It was
I
a
hope you have a
whole
good day.
interesting. You too. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Farewell.
Have a good one.
Farewell. Okay, everybody, that's it. That was Bob from Organized Chaos. I'm glad I got to interview him. I don't think anyone's gonna have any questions here, but like, but hopefully I can maybe interview someone else from the initiative. I know Turf Nation ain't doing videos anymore, but if he ever comes back, maybe I can try to get him on the channel. Since I do like Turf Nation. He is my friend in real. I mean, I talked to him on Discord, but that's about it. But I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could get Dane on the channel. I know me and him had some conflicts on the line, but like, I don't. I think we can have each other meet each other online and see if I can interview him. I would definitely like to interview Eric Debunks. I think he's a cool dude. But all the initiatives are good people. But yeah, we all make mistakes. But I'm glad I got this conversation, and I felt like I've understand a lot of things online. So yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Whoever watches in the future. But I think I enjoyed this interview overall. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.